Good day everyone, I am Melodin Albora from SC11 Lucena Cluster, San Narciso, BS Ed English, second year. Here is my project title, My Culture, My Story, Community Rooted Assessment.
What is the importance of this authentic assessment? So it is a measured learning through real-life application rather than just test. Makes education relevant, meaningful, and connected to the learner's culture and daily experience. So for the global competitiveness of Filipino educators, so it is a demonstrate world-class quality through adaptability, creativity, and effective teaching practice that meet international standard while being rooted in local context. And learning engagement increases interest and participation by using similar stories, traditions, and environments. It is encourage active involvement and makes learners proud of their output. For inclusivity, ensures equal opportunity for all regardless of location, culture, and ability. Adapt tasks so every learner is valued, respected, and given a fair chance to succeed. For differentiated instruction, it is provide various ways to learn and demonstrate knowledge like writing, drawing, performing, narrating, something like that. So it suits different learning styles and uses available resources effectively. For role of assessment in the literature in 21st century learning, so it is develops essential skills like critical thinking, creativity, and cultural appreciations, combines knowledge with character building, identity preservation, and responsible citizenship.
This is for grade 7 students. This is for school in remote area or indigenous community. So the language is for indigenous or a language for Filipino student. Here is my expected learning outcome. Recognize, understand, and value stories, legend, myth, and literature from their own culture and community. To establish connection between the lesson derived from literary works and the daily life and tradition of their tribe. Create creative outputs using materials found only within their surroundings and environment. The last one is share their own culture and value with peers and community. Here is my objectives. Number 1 is measure understanding of the content themes and the messages of literary works, especially indigenous stories. Strengthen pride and love for their own culture and identity. Broaden thinking skills and problem-solving abilities using the inherent wisdom of the tribe. The last one is test their ability to express, create, and collaborate even without modern tools. Curriculum alignment. This is aligned with the K-12 curriculum, which aim to develop reading skills, analysis, and appreciation of Philippine literature and culture, especially in areas rich in indigenous tradition.
The goal is for make learning meaningful, keep culture alive, and show that quality education is possible even without modern tools. The role is teacher who guide learner, respect their background, and create activity that suit their situation. Audience, so learners, community members, and the people around the world. The situation is limited resources, use natural materials, and local wisdom to teach effectively. Product, stories, arts, performance, and class collection of works. Standard, outputs are connected to culture, well made, show good values, and use thinking skills well. Topics and literary pieces. So, legend and origin stories from their own tribe. Example, legend of mountains, rivers, trees, or animals. Proverbs and sayings still used by elders and their community. Stories regarding respect for elders, environmental care, and cooperation. So, innovative assessment method. It is all require no technology, utilize local materials, and are suited to their way of life. Assessment task 1, story of my ancestors. So, documentation and narration. So, here is the description. The learners will be encouraged to coverage with tribal parents or tribal leaders. From this interaction, they will record or write or draw if they have a difficult writing. Story, legend, or significant historical event from their place. Afterward, they would narrate it in front of the class or their family. So why this is meaningful, or why is this meaningful? So it is a genuine experience originating directly from their community and daily life. It preserves and values their own literature and culture. So, no books and internet are required. Conversation alone is sufficient. So, here are the materials. The paper made from leaves, old notebooks, bamboo slates, charcoal or ink made from plants or pencil. Assessment 2. Art and the symbols of my place, or this is an artwork creation. So here is the description. Based on the story gathered or read, learners will create an artwork or object that symbolize the message of the story. Here are the example. If the story is about respect for nature, create a decoration made from natural resources. And if the story is about unity, create a small model of a traditional house or the tribal settlement. So, learner may also create poems, songs, or dances based on the story. So, why is it meaningful? It is utilizes their artistic skills and ability to use natural resources. It demonstrates that literature is alive and visible in their surroundings. Here are the possible materials: the wood, bamboo leaves, or leaves of roots, stones, clay, or any materials found in the forest or environment. So here is the performance-based assessment. Performance of lessons and value, role-playing, or singing. Here this is the description. So in a group activities, learners will act out, sing, or dance a part of the story or the entire story itself. They must demonstrate good character and the lessons learned from it. How will this be done?
So, no expensive costume are needed. They will use their own indigenous attire or a simple clothing. So, props and materials for the performance are also made from local resources. They will graded based on content, clarity of narrations, and demonstration of appropriate emotion and lessons. It will be graded by using these rubrics. So here are the criteria. So for excellent, there is a complete, clear, and deeply relevant to the story and tribal tradition. So the next one is good, clear and appropriately connected to the story and culture. Satisfactory, has a relevance but lack details, need improvement, or the score is 2, 1 to 2, unclear, or has no relevance. So that is 1 to 2. So the materials will be from their environment. They only need to be creative. So here is the integrated assessment, book of life, manual, library, or a collection. So here is the description. In a class, will create their own book of life or a collection of their outputs. So stories, drawings, and artworks. This will be placed inside a box or container made of bamboos. With this will serve as the library, but can be read and used by future learners. This represents the technology of their culture, the prevention and the safekeeping of knowledge. So, inclusive assessment strategies. This is for all learners. For those who cannot read or write, they may narrate orally, draw events, or create shapes, figures using clay or mud. For those with disabilities, activity will be adapted according to the abilities. So if unable to speak, draw or create an object. If unable to walk, narrate only. So for language differences, so assessment will be conducted using the tribe's own language for better understanding and comfort. For development of higher order thinking skills, they may use a critical thinking, creativity, problem solving, collaboration, and effective thinking. Here's the part E, development of higher order thinking skills. How does this sharpen their thinking? They analyze why traditions are important and how they relate to their lives today. For their creativity, they think of ways to make activities beautiful and meaningful using only what is available in their surroundings. For their problem solving, so they will find ways to share stories even without modern tools. For their collaboration, so the family members or classmates works together in gathering information and performing. So for their reflective thinking, they reflect deeply on the value of being indigenous and their contribution to society. Contribution to education and society. So, to the Philippine education, this demonstrates that education is not found only in books or the internet. It is visible and heard within their own community. It helps ensure that
indigenous culture and language do not disappear, and it makes learning more relatable and meaningful for them. For this society, it molds the youth to be proud of their heritage, to be caring toward nature, and to be guardians of their traditions. This also serves as a bridge that the tribe can be recognized and respected by others. To the global perspective, so it shows the world that every culture is rich and valuable. The learning methods of indigenous people are a form of wisdom that is equally important as educational method from other countries. So, how to use these different learning modalities? So, face-to-face classes activities are done directly in school, then shared with the community, and online limited sources, so no internet required. Everything is made from the environment and through conversation. And for blended learning, some parts are done in school while other are done at home with family. These are my reflection from this kind of activities, what I have done or what I have prepared. So as a future teacher, I want to be a protector and a promoter of our culture. This mission is very professional to me because when I was a child, I was bullied for being Bisaya. So because of that experience, I want to show everyone that being Bisaya is not something to be loved. And I want to show, to prove that whatever other can do, we can also do, and we can do it well. And after studying assessment and learning too in the children and adolescents literature, I realized that true education must be rooted in who the learners are and where they come from. We do not need we do not need expensive equipment for students to learn. Their own stories, environment, and wisdom are enough to achieve great things. And I am a teacher. I aim to be a teacher who listen, understand, and strengthen the identity of the every learner. I want my students, especially those in remote areas, and from different cultural backgrounds, to feel proud of who they are, and I will make sure that no student feels small because of their roots, and I will help them realize that their identity is their strength. Thank you so much.